one, bitch, I'ma smack the wig off. And then I'ma change.
Sakiyna Thompson flew from New York to South Florida to kill her boyfriend's lover in 2022.
We, the jury, find as follows as the defendant in this case. The defendant is guilty of murder in the first degree.
Your face! Show your face, please, with sugar on top!
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you check us out on Patreon at www.patreon.com/hookah_anonymous_. You guys been telling us to create one for the longest, so we recently created a community where we will upload videos that we can't share on YouTube due to their guidelines. We'll also be dropping the latest to there first, behind the scenes information that you wouldn't find anywhere else on our socials. So make sure you become a member, and after you do that, head over to our official Instagram page at hookah_anonymous_ and follow us there. Now without further ado, let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, this story should serve as a reminder, y'all, that you never know who you may come across, what they're capable of, and not to judge a book by its cover. This is a story of a love triangle going wrong, and as a result, one woman was stabbed around 37 times by the other woman who was involved with the same man. Now, we covered this story years ago back in 2022 when it first happened, and ironically, 3 years later, now she had just been found guilty, so we want to update y'all with what actually transpired. Not only that, but more details as to what actually happened and what led them to arrest her is what's going to shock y'all even more. We will find out that she traveled all the way from New York to Florida just to approach a woman about a man they were both involved with. Showed up to the girl's house at 4 a.m. and stabbed her multiple times, and then got the nerve to wear this girl's clothes who she just stabbed to death as she left the housing complex. When they asked her why did she decide to put on her clothes to leave the house, she nonchalantly replied that it was just because she had too much blood on her clothes. Investigators will also find that she tried to clean up the scene due to the pool of blood that was in the apartment, and when she was asked why she didn't call the cops, she stated that she was scared. And I mean, duh. Now, to be honest with you, she clearly seemed like she has a mental problem, and I don't know if that's due to her just trying to plead insanity within the case so she could have gotten a more lenient sentence, or maybe that's really just her. However it goes, she recently just went to trial and was found guilty, where it's believed she would basically spend the rest of her life in jail. And the fact that she made it her business to travel across state lines all the way to Florida just to address another woman over a man and then appear at her house at 4 in the morning just goes to show that the whole thing was premeditated, which is why I don't know why it took them this long to even find her guilty. Once we get to the evidence that they have against her, which includes a bunch of surveillance, y'all will understand why I say that. So we're going to get into it, but in the meantime, make sure you hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm. And if you're not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it.
The trial of a woman accused of plotting to kill her romantic rival in Tamarack is happening right now. 31-year-old Sakiyna Thompson is charged with the 2022 murder of Kayla Hodgson. Let me take you back. Broward Sheriff's investigators say that Thompson flew down from New York days before the murder with the intent of killing Hodgson. Detectives say the two women were dating the same men. Well, Hodgson was found stabbed to death in her village apartment home in Tamarack. Prosecuting and defense attorneys just wrapped up their opening statements minutes ago.
Kayla's body will not only tell you the details of her brutal act, but her body will tell you who did it. Because there was something that the defendant could not clean up and take with her, and that was the DNA of the defendant that was under one of Kayla's fingernails.
She was afraid to call the police. Why would they believe her? She panicked. She did not go there for this. She went there to have a woman-to-woman conversation about where their relationship stood.
And the trial is expected to last several days. Thompson faces the possibility of the death penalty if she is found guilty.
Now, for the ones that aren't too familiar with the backstory, real briefly, here's the last video of us describing what actually took place. Check this out. When the story first broke about 23-year-old Kayla Hodgson being found dead in her home, it was all a mystery as to what happened. Everyone was startled, including her family and close friends, because they couldn't believe that someone would do such a thing to someone like Kayla. Now, Kayla was a well-known bartender in the Florida area who a close friend as well as employer described her as being, quote, "She was really sweet. She was the life of the party. She always had kind words." Alright, now on July 13th in the Tamarack Village apartments located in the 9300 block of Northwest 57th Street around 3 p.m., deputies responded after the body of a woman was found unresponsive in an apartment complex. She was later identified by family and friends, but no signs of any suspects at the time. Now, the following Monday, July 25th, 2022, Broward officials obtained a warrant for 28-year-old Sakiyna Thompson through investigative means, and on Wednesday, August 3rd, Thompson was taken into custody by New York Police Department by officers in Springfield Gardens, New York. She was being held at the Rose M. Singer Center on Rikers Island, which is a jail facility for women, but she'll be extradited back to Broward County, where she'll face a charge of first-degree murder. A quick glance through Thompson's Instagram shows that she was a very popular nail technician in New York, so what would force her to throw it all away and kill another female? Well, upon research, we learned that this was most certainly a crime of passion. And rumor has it that Thompson has a boyfriend who's a well-known scammer and loved to shower her with designer clothes, jewelry, and a lavish lifestyle. And as if this whole situation ain't enough, we also learned that Thompson is 5 months pregnant. Now, as you can see, at first, it wasn't much information because the victim was just found unalived and stabbed a bunch of times in her apartment. Fast forward, police did an investigation, and that's how they would find out that Sakiyna was the suspect. In the last video, we didn't realize how or why they suspected her as a suspect, but that's up until now. Y'all check this out.
The woman accused of killing her romantic rival in Tamarack took the stand in her own defense today.
State prosecutors allege Sakiyna Thompson flew from New York to South Florida to kill her boyfriend's lover in 2022. NBC6's Marissa Bagg was the only reporter inside of the courtroom for her testimony. Marissa, she didn't deny the killing, right?
She did not deny it. She says that she acted in self-defense that night, and she went on to tell the jury that she at least tried to clean up some of the crime scene and that she did not call police because she was afraid. Over 2 hours of testifying in her own defense, Sakiyna Thompson told jurors she was jealous of the relationship her boyfriend had with the victim, Kayla Hodgson.
A little, I guess you could say, jealous and insecure.
Thompson admitted to flying from New York to Tamarack in July of 2022, in part to confront Hodgson about the relationship, hoping to convince the other woman to stop. This video shows Thompson showing up unexpectedly at Hodgson's Tamarack apartment at 4 o'clock in the morning. When Hodgson let her in, Thompson says a conversation about their love triangle quickly turned sour. Thompson says Hodgson hit her over the head with a hookah.
She just starts grabbing my hair and punching me, and I'm on the floor. I'm kicking. I'm trying to get up to fight back at this point because now it's a fight.
Thompson was 2 months pregnant at the time. She told the jury she had no choice but to grab something sharp and defend herself.
I told her I was pregnant, so I felt like she was trying to hurt me and my baby. I didn't just fight for me. I fought for me and my baby.
Thompson testified that when she thought Hodgson was dead, she tried to clean up parts of the crime scene with Lysol wipes and paper towels. She admitted to changing into Hodgson's clothes. This video shows her leaving the victim's apartment in those clothes.
I had to change at that point because I'm like, I can't leave out of here looking like this.
Why did you feel like you had to change?
Because there was blood everywhere.
Thompson's attorney asked her why she didn't call 911.
Why didn't you call the police?
I was scared. Scared.
Okay. What were you scared of?
I was pregnant and I just killed somebody.
Now, the state is adamant that Thompson came down here with the intent to kill that day. Prosecutors will have the opportunity to cross-examine her when the trial resumes Monday morning. If Thompson is found guilty, she faces life in prison.
Now that y'all seen that, this is why I say there must have been something mentally wrong with Sakiyna. For one, she basically admitted that she did stab the victim multiple times from the beginning, and she didn't even try to lie about it. She didn't even try to make it seem like she had a good reason, nothing. She simply stated that it's because she was jealous. Now keep in mind, right? This girl had about 3 years to come up with a good reason. Well, there's never a good reason to take someone's life, but I'm referring to it being her defense. She had 3 years, and the only thing she was able to come up with was, I was jealous and insecure. Now I'm sure at that point the jury probably already made up their mind that she was guilty, being that she admitted she already did it out of jealousy, but there was more assault to add to injury. Surveillance evidence would show Sakiyna arriving at the airport, leaving the airport, all timestamped, and then also caught her going to this woman's house that she doesn't even know at a weird time. Note that when she went to the woman's house, she dressed in men attire, I guess to throw off anybody that she probably felt was watching, and she claims that the victim let her in. She says after the victim let her in, they spoke, and out of nowhere the girl just hit her in the head with a hookah, and she only proceeded to stab her out of self-defense because she was 2 months pregnant. Now here's where a bunch of red flags are raised. 1, I don't believe someone will let a stranger in their house that they don't know at 4 in the morning just willingly. 2, if she did, then why would she initiate a fight in her house at 4 in the morning? But then 3, if she only stabbed her out of self-defense, why was this girl stabbed 37 times? That don't sound like an act of self-defense. In fact, that sounds like a crime out of passion. That sounds like someone who let all their anger out on someone who had every intention on doing exactly what she did. And she did all this while pregnant. Now her claims were, I was pregnant and I was scared. But the pregnancy didn't stop her from getting on a whole airplane from one state to another and then go to another woman's house at 4 in the morning, right? But with all that being said, she finally had her deciding day in court, and this is a little of how it went down.
Well, only on 6 more than 3 years after investigators say that a woman flew down to Fort Lauderdale to kill her ex-boyfriend's lover, a jury found her guilty of murder. NBC 6's Nico Clemens is live in Fort Lauderdale tonight with more. Nico, we're hearing from the victim's family.
Yeah, Juwan, and one family member described the last 3 years as torture. But today was the day they all hoped for.
State of Florida versus Sakiyna Thompson.
A burden lifted.
We, the jury, find as follows as the defendant in this case. The defendant is guilty of murder in the first degree.
Guilty is what this family has waited to hear for more than 3 years.
We finally have some justice for Kayla.
A jury found Sakiyna Thompson guilty of killing 23-year-old Kayla Hodgson in 2022. Prosecutors argued Thompson surprised Hodgson at her Tamarack apartment, confronted her about the two of them dating the same man, and then stabbed her to death. Hodgson's family cried tears of joy in the courtroom Tuesday. They hugged each other tight because a guilty verdict is what they prayed for.
We're so thankful in this moment that the jury was able to see the story for what it is, that Kayla did not deserve to die the way that she did.
Defense attorneys insist Thompson didn't start the fight. They say Hodgson hit Thompson first and cut her stomach with a piece of glass. When Thompson took the stand earlier in the week, she admitted she killed Hodgson because her life was in danger and she was pregnant.
She thought, oh God, she's coming for me and my baby. That's when she grabs the glass and then she blacks out.
After the murder, Thompson admitted she changed into the victim's clothes, cleaned up some of the scene, and that she was too scared to call police. She also threw evidence in the trash. A life taken too soon. Years later, the family says they got justice.
And the moment I heard guilty, it was what we all needed for closure in this moment to move forward, to start our healing process. It's been a long 3.5 years.
Now, according to Sakiyna's attorney, she says the reason she didn't call the cops after everything was said and done is because she was afraid that the police wouldn't believe her. And also, she only went over there to the victim's house to have a woman-to-woman conversation. But clearly we know that's bullcrap because there's other times of the day she could have went there while it was still daylight outside and spoke to her. For one, how did she even know where she lived? But then 2, how did she feel so bold to go over there in the first place by herself? And lastly, who goes to anybody's house at 4 in the morning to have a conversation? Now, when it first happened, it was rumors that the boyfriend may have allegedly played a role in this as well, somehow, some way. But being that he hasn't been charged nor arrested or brought up, I'll leave that alone there. Something don't sit right with this whole case though. However, Sakiyna was found guilty and will face the consequences of her actions. As you can see, she got life, and that's pretty much it. Ladies, let this be a lesson for y'all out there. None of this, and I mean none of this, is worth it. Just think about it. While she's in jail, he's going to be outside with the next woman doing the same exact thing he was doing before she got in there. Only difference now is it's not a damn thing she could do about it. And honestly, when it comes to her stabbing the victim, I personally feel if she didn't stab her 37 times, she probably would have gotten away with it because the deceased person can't talk. So it would have been her word against the deceased person. But the fact that she stabbed her 37 times just goes to show that it was more than self-defense like she claimed, thus making it easy for the jurors to believe that this was a crime of passion. So y'all jump in the comments and let me know what y'all think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'ma keep on dropping. I'm out.